Welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about Gay-Lussac's law, which explains why pressure changes with temperature, and we will also learn the combined gas law, which brings everything we've discussed together into one formula. Gay-Lussac's law states that the pressure and temperature of a gas are directly proportional. If you heat up a gas in a fixed container, those particles move faster and hit the walls with more force, causing the pressure to rise. And the opposite is true as well. You may have noticed that on a cold, cool winter morning, that's when your light pops up on your car dashboard saying that your pressure tire is low. This is because the temperature is dropping, and so therefore the pressure decreases and signals to your car diagnostics that your tire pressure is low. But that's just because the temperature is low for that day, and maybe later on in the afternoon it warms back up again and the light mysteriously disappears on the dashboard. That's because the temperature has increased and now the pressure is high again in your car. Or perhaps while you're driving down the road, there's friction that heats up the gas. Here's the math for the Gay-Lussac's law. We write the formula out: P1 over T1 equals P2 over T2. I would definitely write that down on a note card. And just like the other laws, you must use Kelvin for the temperature units to get the correct result. You might see this in your kitchen. Another example is a can of whipping cream in the refrigerator. It has a low internal pressure than the one sitting on the grocery store shelf because the temperature has decreased. This is one of the reasons we keep our whipping cream in the refrigerator. Sometimes we change multiple things at once. The combined gas law merges the previous laws into a single equation. P1 V1 over T1 equals P2 V2 over T2. This allows us to solve for a resulting volume or pressure, or even when the temperature is also shifting, giving us a complete picture of the gas's behavior. Let's take a look at this scenario. The initial state of the gas is shown on the left-hand side of this diagram. We've got an ambibag, and it has a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. That's usually the chilly temperature of an ER room. And the pressure in the room is 1.01 atmospheres, and the volume is 0.50 liters. Now, what happens is that gas undergoes a transition in both temperature and pressure, and we want to calculate the final volume. The oxygen gas in this ambibag is transferred to the patient. The patient has a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. That's body temperature. The pressure in the patient is 1.05 atmospheres due to chest wall resistance. And so we want to calculate what is the volume of that gas that's placed into the patient. On the very right of this column of this slide, we have the calculation. We want to solve the combined gas law for V2. It's a complicated algebra problem if you're not familiar with math. So V2 is equal to P1 V1 times T2 over P2 times T1. And I've already gone ahead and converted these Celsius temperatures to Kelvins, and we want to plug all this stuff in. At the very end result on the bottom right of this slide, we see that the final volume is actually a little bit larger. It's 0.51 liters.